Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today I'm going off again. I'm doing another shut the fuck up. This is on Jermall Charlo. I actually think I did one a few months ago on this fool, and this dude just won't stop. He just, or it might have been on David Benavidez, actually, I think. But if you know anything about my channel, if you've been watching it, randomly I do these shut the fuck ups when I just want to go off on a guy. So I'm doing it on Charlo. Where do I begin on doing it on Charlo? This dude annoys the fuck out of me. So first, I had an issue with the guys that Charlo fought. I felt like he was a protected fighter. Up until September of last year, he actually fought a legit guy in Sergey Derevyanchenko. I picked Charlo to lose that fight, and he held it down. He fought hard, he boxed well, and he kind of beat up Derevyanchenko. Never really let Derevyanchenko take the fight away. When Derevyanchenko would land a good shot, before he could get going and get a flurry going, Charlo would tag him with that straight right hand and hurt him, or back him off. And I was impressed with that. It was a good, solid victory and everything, but he has an opportunity to set himself up, possibly land a Canelo fight, possibly get somebody big like Triple G may be interested. And his return fight after that win, now Derevyanchenko, not a big name, though, that's the thing. A good win for boxing fans, for people that know boxing, a good win. But in order to get his name out there, this fool, Derevyanchenko was not a big name. So people were like, okay, nice win. Let's keep the ball rolling. This fool decides on Juan Montiel as his opponent June 19th on Showtime. What a fucking joke. This dude, I went back, looked at his record, because I remember his name around the bend, and he's never beaten anybody significant, and the guys that he has fought who are significant, he's gotten his ass beat. And I don't know how the fuck this dude is even in the title mix, let alone should be getting fed to the kitten, not lion, the kitten Jermall Charlo. I mean, wow, what a joke of an opponent to come back with off your best win of your career. And I start analyzing his resume and looking at everybody he avoids, and I'm just like, damn, who has Charlo really beaten in his career? Let's go over it real quick. His 3 biggest wins. Julian J-Rock Williams was his first one. Legitimate win, right? At the time, J-Rock was just an undefeated, unknown fighter. Since then, J-Rock beat Ishii Smith. No surprise. He should have beat Ishii Smith. And he went on to upset Jarrett Hurd to win the unified title. Okay, big win right there. But Hurd was also overlooking Julian J-Rock Williams ahead of a Charlo fight with Jermall's brother, Jermall. Hey, all that being said, J-Rock beat him, right? What does he do in his next fight? J-Rock gets his ass knocked out against Jason Rosario, who's not a big name. So he beat J-Rock about 3 years before J-Rock became a world champion. So, okay, we'll still say that. He beats Austin Trout, not by much either. He beat Austin Trout by a decision. Had some trouble with him. He walked away with that win. Trout, decent win right there, but I mean, is that really something to go running home to about? Trout's lost to a few guys. And Trout definitely wasn't in his prime anymore when he lost to Charlo, but okay, we'll give him that win. And then his next biggest win against Derevyanchenko. I'm not knocking the win. I'm not. It was a nice win. But here's why I think Charlo looked better than Triple G and Daniel Jacobs looked against Derevyanchenko. Now, Daniel Jacobs didn't look bad. I thought he won that fight clean. It was ruled a split decision. But Jacobs was a big name going in really with a layup for that IBF title. The IBF title was vacant, and everybody was looking at that fight like, this is just a gimme fight for Jacobs to become world champion again. And Jacobs maybe overlooked Derevyanchenko a little bit. I still thought he outboxed him and outworked him, and it was a clean win. But, that's what I think about that one. And then Triple G, another guy. Triple G, even bigger name than Daniel Jacobs. was looking ahead towards a possible Canelo fight again when they fought in 2019. He was hoping for that. He went in, you know, and absolutely was looking at that fight as a layup to become world champion again. The vacant IBF title was on the line again for Derevyanchenko, but he was just looked at as an opponent. Also, I heard Triple G was sick that day when they fought. No excuses though. Triple G barely beat Derevyanchenko. That's a fight that could have went either way. But after 2 times going after world titles and coming close, do you think Jermall Charlo, who picked Derevyanchenko, he wasn't forced into that fight like the other guys were. He picked Derevyanchenko. Do you really think that Charlo wasn't absolutely prepared in knowing what he was getting himself into? I don't think Triple G and Daniel Jacobs were looking at Derevyanchenko as a threat. I think they were absolutely overlooking him. Charlo wasn't. Charlo was absolutely prepared because of Triple G and Daniel Jacobs' mistakes. So he went in there and he got a clean win. You know, but let's factor all those things in right there. And now, who is this guy deciding to do while he's calling Canelo out? He says he wants Canelo, right? Well, why is he not fighting the guys that he can fight? What happened to the Chris Eubank Jr. fight? He was supposed to fight Eubank instead of Derevyanchenko. He decided to fight Derevyanchenko, and I didn't knock him. But why not fight Chris Eubank now? It's a makeable fight because Eubank is a threat. That's why. And Charlo wants to pad his record to get a Canelo fight. That's the only guy he's talking about is Canelo, like he deserves it. Well, shut the fuck up. No, you don't deserve that fight because you're not beating anybody to get to that fight. Like I said with Demetrius Andrade, this guy does not deserve a Canelo fight right now. Now, he has a bigger name than Andrade. Granted, he's got a couple more credible wins than Andrade has. I'll give him that too. So, in terms of stock and who Canelo should fight, I would love for Canelo to fight Charlo because you know why? Canelo's going to knock the fuck out of Charlo when they fight. I would love for him to shut Charlo's mouth up because I never thought of the 2 brothers that I was going to respect Jermall Charlo more than Jermall. I thought Jermall was a softer puncher. I thought he was a big baby when he lost to Tony Harrison, you know, and then he shut me up when he came back and knocked him out. He shut me up again when he attempted to unify belts against Jason Rosario and did what he should have done, what J-Rock, if J-Rock was on the level, should have done. He knocked the fuck out of Jason Rosario, beat his ass, and knocked him out with a body shot. And now, instead of avoiding a big fight, he's going after the undisputed title against a tough, undefeated Brian Castano. So, Jermall Charlo, much props to that fool right now. He's almost on my must-watch list. He might be on some people's must-watch list. But Jermall, oh, what a joke this fool is, man. Straight up. He does not want Canelo. I mean, he doesn't want to fight anybody to get to Canelo. He doesn't want to earn the Canelo fight. Canelo is in a whole different universe, dude. And Charlo is just Juan Montiel. What a joke. He's going to lay this fool out and pad his record some more trying to get Canelo in the ring. But, you know, another thing I want to mention. This fool just a few months ago, he goes and him and David Benavidez are chopping it up back and forth. Benavidez, after he won his fight, is talking shit to Charlo, saying, hey, Charlo should fight me. Charlo should fight me. Let's go. He finally pissed Charlo off enough to where Charlo said, let's do this shit. And then Charlo's trainer and his team comes out and says, nah, we're not interested in that fight. Jermall's staying at 160. Okay, why would he agree to it, you know, and open his big mouth that that's how they all feel? But all right, for a second, I'll roll with that excuse. But then he goes and calls Canelo out at 168. He says, I'll give up my belt and move up and fight him now. So which is it? You're going to take over middleweight, or you're going to, and you want a big fight at middleweight and all the champions, or you want to go to 168? And you want to go to 168 for one fight. You know, Charlo's a fucking joke. He's a fucking joke. And when he gets in there against somebody legit, he's going to get his ass beat. Like, I'm talking A-level legit. David Benavidez will destroy Charlo. Canelo will destroy Charlo. Triple G will beat Charlo convincingly. Charlo has a right hand and he can jab a little bit. He's a decent boxer, but like I keep saying, he's good, but he is not great. And those guys are A-level great. And now Daniel Jacobs is calling Charlo out. So what does Charlo want to do? Jacobs is the kind of name you beat to get to Canelo. And I guarantee you, he moves up to 168 and he earns his fucking shot. Take on David Benavidez. Take on Daniel Jacobs. Fight the fights that you can fight. There's Anthony Durrell at 168 if you just want to fight PBC guys. The point is there's fucking options for Charlo. He ain't taking or cashing in on him. He could have invited Jarrett Hurd up from 154. He could have fucking probably fought Erislandy Lara. Since Lara was willing to move up to 160 to fight Cornflake LaManna, you don't think Lara would have moved up to fight Charlo for the title? They're both with the PBC. Nah, Charlo doesn't want to take any kind of risk. He just wants the fucking payday with Canelo because he knows he's going to get that payday and he's going to end up just like Billy Joe Saunders, just like fucking Callum Smith, and just like Caleb Plant's going to end up too, who's also running his mouth. So, Charlo, you're a fucking joke, dude. Shut the fuck up and fight somebody to earn that shot. Until then, keep that kitten's mouth closed. Alright, guys. True Boxing, you've been here with the truth.